Hey chums, today I'm going to be talking to you about vegan powders for the face. If you want to subscribe, please do subscribe. I post about vegan beauty and lifestyle things and some vlogs and this and that. We're going to jump straight on into it with probably my top fave, also the most affordable favourite. I love this brand and I love their powders. Their base products are really good. It's Elf, the one and only. Elf have been around for ages. You can get them in Superdrug in the UK, you can get them online. They are really affordable and these powders last a very long time. I know, because these are quite old and I'm still using them and enjoying them. I only really need to use powder in the summertime because I have normal skin. Most people have preferences, either a pressed powder or a loose powder. I think a loose powder gives a nicer finish, but sometimes pressed powder is quite good for when you're traveling or if you're out and about and you get oily throughout the day and you want to be able to powder. I do have a pressed powder to recommend, but my main favourites are loose powders because they look much more natural. Elf have a couple of different options. A little bit messy, that's the one downside of loose powder. They have their HD powder, Halo Glow setting powder. They might have others as well, but these are the only three I've got in my collection. The under eye setting powder. HD powder is just a sheer powder. The Halo Glow has got a slight tint to it, so this comes in a couple of different shades. And then the under eye setting powder, I don't really know what the difference is between this and the HD powder. They're very similar. I think this is just in a little pot, but it's quite good for travel. This little mini, it is good for travel. I'm gonna swatch these. I don't know how much use the swatches are gonna be, but we're gonna go for it. And I have seen the HD powder be used on darker skin tones and I think it works, but if somebody's watching this and has a darker skin tone and has tried this, please let me know. Obviously the Halo Glow has a tint to it, so you'd have to get it in your skin tone. It's gonna be such a pointless swatch. I don't know if this helps at all, but it's so fine. It's such a lightweight, fine powder. You can see this one adds a tiny little bit of coverage as well because of the colour to it. Beautiful powders and affordable. I particularly like these ones for under the eyes because that's where I feel like dry skin or kind of heavy makeup under the eyes is really noticeable. Two other tinted options that I have used and enjoyed: the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. This one I find ever so slightly heavier than the Elf powders. I probably wouldn't repurchase it for that reason, and it's much more expensive, but I liked it. If you have oily skin, you might like this one as well. And then Oma Beauty, I've never actually not used this too often because Oma Beauty products are so matte. Like their concealer's really matte, their foundation's really matte, and I just don't need to powder a matte foundation ever. But this is a nice powder. It's kind of a funky pot. When I first opened it, there was nothing in the middle and it was all just in this canister on the outside, and then I realized that the product slowly comes out into the middle, so there's space for you to twirl your brush, which I think is quite cool, quite innovative. I have mine in the shade Light. And then two options that I like that are in the kind of natural beauty world. I personally, I've said this before, I like these kind of brands. I do like these brands in particular, but I don't particularly look for kind of natural brands anymore. But if you do, these might be ones to check out. So RMS Beauty, they have vegan options. They're not a completely vegan brand. Their Unpowder, this is their Unpowder tinted in 0 to 1. I think they have a sheer version as well. This blurs. This really does blur, but it does oxidize slightly because it's got silica, I think, as one of the main, the first ingredient is silica. They are kind of like a blurring ingredient. And then another one which is similar, kind of like the Glossier Wow powder or Wowder, if you ever tried that. This is the Magic Finishing Loose Powder by the brand Freshly Cosmetics, and I really like this and I love this little net. Similar to the 100% Pure powder, their Bamboo Blur powder, really similar in consistency and also the packaging. I mean, this is kind of pointless to apply because I'm not very shiny right now, but you get the gist. Very lightweight, blurs ever so slightly, and it feels nice on the skin. And then last but not least, the pressed powder that I really enjoy, that I realise will not work for everyone because this is a banana powder, so it's supposed to be like a yellow toned powder, but it just so happens to work with my complexion because I have fair skin with neutral undertones, so I can get away with this shade as an actual pressed powder. But this is the Essence Brighten Up powder, supposed to be for only under the eyes. I use it wherever I so choose to. It's just a really lovely lightweight powder, super affordable, really affordable.
Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in on the voiceover to recommend another powder which has a bit of a better shade range than Essence, because Essence is the worst when it comes to shade ranges. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder is so good. It's really blurring. Yes, it is expensive, but it lasts a long time. If you can't find your shade in the powder, they also have an airbrush finish bronzer, which is a very similar consistency. That will obviously go slightly deeper because it's a bronzer. I didn't have one to show you in this video, but I love it and I use it all the time, and my ones have lasted me ages and ages and ages, so well worth the price.
I hope this video was useful. If it was, subscribe and all that jazz, and hopefully I will see you very soon. Bye.